now, is this mic working correctly? And it's consistent, so.
This is my skiz. This is my skizzle. For izzle. Do what? What? Now when I say, where my freaks, you can say woo woo. So where my freaks? Where my freaks? When I say, where my freaks, you can say woo woo. So where my freaks? Where my freaks? Now when I say, where my
Lavishly lives are wasted my Father's house. Come and go with me to my Father's house. It's a big, big house with lots and lots of room. A big, big table with lots and lots of food. A big, big yard where we can play football. A big, big house. It's my Father's house. A big, big house with lots and lots of room. A big, big table with lots and lots of food. A big, big yard where we can play football. A big, big house. It's my Father's house.
Just begun to get our share of this world's delight. High hopes we have for the future and our goals in sight. We know we don't get depressed. Here's what we call our golden rule.
Have to hit a. Hey, we're going to be starting in about 5 minutes, so if you can find a spot here shortly, we'll be getting going here. But we are live right now, so if you're watching us on YouTube channel, everybody say hi to the YouTubers out there. Wave to the cameras, people. All us students here. We'll be starting in about 5 minutes, so find your chairs, get comfortable. We've got some sections all cordoned off for you, 25 per group. So we'll start here in a few minutes. Welcome. We have some chairs over here if you need something to sit on, if you didn't bring your own. Afterwards, we'll wipe them down with bleach, but be responsible for your own chair. Feel free to grab one, bring it in. Remember, we are limited to 25 people per group. So find a chair, enjoy yourself. We'll get going here in a few minutes.
Ooh, have faith in you and the
social distance.
Get up, y'all. Ha. Oh, hey, oh. I got my sister.
There's a party going on right here, a celebration to last throughout the years. So bring your good times and your laughter too. We gon' celebrate your party with you. Come on now. Celebration. Let's all celebrate and have a good time. We gon' celebrate and have a good time. It's time to come together. It's up to you. What's your pleasure? Everyone around the world, come on! It's a celebration. It's a celebration. Celebrate good times, come on. Let's celebrate. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Let's celebrate. It's alright. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Let's celebrate. It's alright. Baby, we're gonna have a good time tonight. Let's celebrate. It's alright. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Let's celebrate. It's alright. It's a celebration. Celebrate good times, come on. Come on and celebrate tonight. 'Cause everything's gonna be alright. Let's celebrate.
Check, check, 1, 2. Hey, everybody, give yourselves a round of applause for being here tonight. Seriously. I think our largest group is right back here. What group, what age you guys represent? What junior, senior? Junior class right here. They're representing by 16. We got 15 here. What are you guys? Sophomores? Freshmen? Freshmen? Okay, see, you already look older. Hey, we are actually live right now. So if you're on your YouTube channel, you are able to see us. We're going to take our cameras here. We got cameras 1, 2, and 3. We're going to pan around the crowd really quickly here. We just want you to say hi to all our friends out there in YouTube land that are not being able to. So stare at a camera and just say hi to all of them. Wave, say hi, we welcome you. Man, oh man, oh man. It is good to be together again. Hopefully this will only last for a couple weeks for us here, and then we'll be able to meet together in larger groups inside. But this is kind of fun to hear you guys turning out tonight. There is only one thing missing. You guys are looking at my glove here. This is my social distancing iPad glove. This allows me to operate my iPad, but it also allows me to do one other thing, and this has been missing for a long time. Let me do it right here. my social distancing starburst batch of love to you, all pink, right? Do me one favor. You can eat them all night long, but do not throw the garbage on the ground for me, please, because when they find starburst wrappers on the ground, they come to me, and I get in trouble. So take it, put it in your pocket, do whatever you got to do, and we'll find the garbage can a little bit later on. We have just a couple announcements, and then we're going to show you something here. Let's do this first. Bathrooms, very important. Hopefully you won't have to use one tonight. We're asking you to let it stretch 3 times because it will stretch 3 times before you absolutely have to go. But if you need to, one at a time, we'll have to walk around the cameras, go through these doors into the main lavatories. We have one stall open for the girls, one stall open for the guys, one at a time, and then we'll have to wipe it down as you leave, okay? So hopefully we want to kind of limit the bathroom use, so just let that happen. Not at all. Also, if you guys are on Instagram, which I know you are, you know we have our own page. We have started something brand new. Every Monday we have devotions and verses. Every Tuesday we have a TikTok challenge of some kind, and this week it's a TikTok dance challenge. Now I know a lot of you guys have already made some. You submit it to us, DM us, and we will post those if they're the best ones. And Saturday we will play the best of the best and give you a $15 gift certificate. So TikTok challenge this week is a TikTok dance challenge. We have announcements on Wednesday, throwback pictures on Thursday, and join us this week, Friday, live on Instagram, because a few of us are going to be going out live into the community doing something that we probably shouldn't do, but it's okay to do. And hopefully we won't get caught. Yeah, well, you'll have to tune in and join us, and you can comment as we go. One other thing, we've got some announcements coming up, events. In a couple weeks, we're going to introduce, how many are drivers out there? You drive with a co-pilot maybe. We have a I'm Going So Slow road rally. You will start here at the church. It's a journey around almost to Portland and back. Not quite that far, but along the way there's 10 different stops. It's kind of like a scavenger hunt, but it's not so much a scavenger hunt as it is a speed contest, because you have to obey the speed limits. If it says 45, you better go 45. If it says 55, 55, 35, 25, you go the speed limit, make this course. We know exactly how long it should take. So if you're too fast coming in, you're going to be deducted a lot of points. If you're too slow, you're going to be deducted a lot of points. So it's a road rally. Drive-in theater, probably right here in this spot. In a couple weeks, we're going to have a giant screen hanging here. You guys can pull up in your cars. We're going to be showing a movie, and all you have to do is turn on your car radio to a certain station and broadcast it into your car, the sound in the movie, just like the old-fashioned drive-in theater. So we'll have a drive-in theater. We're working on that. And how many Frisbee golfers out there? Frisbee golf guys? You don't know this right now, but standing right here, this place, right, you're on actually, let's see, let me give it the distance here. It's a par 4, 137-yard hole from somewhere down there. This is the fairway for the 15th hole, right up to here, and then it makes a dog leg into that corridor over there between the buildings. This is hole number 15. We have laid out a 18-hole golf course, starting in the front, wrapping all the way around, down into the forest, out of the forest, back up to here, and ending out up front. So if we're going to have a tournament here in a couple weeks, any of you guys want to play at any time, you give me a call, I'll come down and we'll run through the course. Josh Brink and I, we played it the other night. Josh needs a lot of practice. It's a big course. We've got all the holes laid out and everything. So with all that being said, if you have a phone, we are actually going to show you a video right now. You have no way of seeing it. If you're out there in YouTube land, you can watch the video that we're going to show you. If you want to watch it right now, you get out your phones and go to our YouTube channel like you normally would if you were at home. So I'll give you a second here to bring up the YouTube channel. Now you got to understand what we're talking here, there's going to be a 30-second delay. So you won't see it for 30 seconds or so when everybody else is seeing it out there. So if you have your YouTube channel, pull it up. I'm going to tell you what it is. Jenny's here. Josh is here. Greg's here. I'm here. Josh Bressel actually helped us out. A lot of people have been asking us, have you been working during this whole shutdown thing, this social distancing thing. Are you coming to work? I've been coming into work Mondays and Tuesday, Wednesday mornings. Jenny comes sometimes in the afternoon. Greg never goes home. Isn't that right, Tara? Yeah, you don't even have a husband anymore, do you? I'm sorry, he's just, there he is. Give him a big kiss through the mask. Oh, okay, there you go. Social distancing, kissing, what's all that about? Anyway, we do come in. Sometimes I drive in. Jenny's there with us. Sometimes Josh is driving in. We all kind of arrive at the same time. You got your phones up? And I think our tech crew has it in there. We're going to kill the volume out here. So if you don't have a phone, you might look at your neighbors. Everybody in YouTube land out there gets to watch this. And if you have it here, this is how we usually come to work. Let's roll the video. Second delay. Every day. No way. I hear it playing out there still. Let me know when that's done out there. Okay. Hey, Rich, if you can hear me, if Rich can hear me, I'm going to have him play that one more time through. Now, there's a lot going on there. I want you to pay particular attention to two people. First of all, Jenny Iverster's driving is not good at all. If you watch her, she's into the bushes. She's out of the bushes. She does a complete rollover, hits the cones. She is a mess. You can watch her, but specifically watch Josh. How many saw him morph through the door? Yeah. You watch it one more time. He comes up to a glass door. He's on one side, and for some, I don't know how he's done it. It's his little secret. His shoes appear on the other side, and all of a sudden, he comes through the door. We're going to play that one more time, Rich. Go ahead and do that. You can watch Jenny roll in the parking lot. And then also, Josh hits a speed bump. He goes about 5 feet in the air if you watch him do that on the second speed bump up by the front door. Let's play that one more time. All right, we'll kill that. Bring this back up. All right. Hey, that was a lot of fun. We had fun doing that, but that's what, do a challenge. Beat us at that. It's stop motion photography. You have to take like 1,600 photos, and your hands and your butt really sore after about an hour of just crawling across the pavement. But anyway, we're going to bring up Josh. We're going to bring up Greg, and we're going to bring up Jenny. Give them a round. We've got a little game for you guys to participate in. How well do you know these guys? We're going to grab one microphone, and we're going to share it between the three of you. So one of those might be hot. Josh, grab one of those mics. We're going to ask you a series of questions. Actually, we're going to make some statements, and all the statements are true about these guys. We're going to read 3 statements out of order. You need to decide what order these 3 need to be in. So they're going to kind of make musical chairs. Let me give you a little sample of what we got. I asked these guys, what is the craziest experience you've ever had at Disneyland? Now, I'm going to read 3 different phrases, and they're all true, one for each of them, but it might not be in the right order. It's not be first, second, and third, so you guys might have to move yourselves around once the crowd decides who they think is what. Here's, for instance, somebody said the craziest thing that happened to them at Disneyland is that they had the police called on him or her. So one of those people up there had the police called on them. Somebody up there has never been to Disneyland. Josh, why don't you just move to the middle now? Okay, we already know that answer. Okay, you just slide over here. He's number 2. So number 1 is the police, number 2 is never been, and the third person is their family was actually chosen to be the family of the day. And what that means is they get to open up the celebration. Welcome to Disneyland 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and they open the park and they get special tickets. So in that order, police, never been, chosen family of the day. Who would be first? Who would be second? Who would be third? If you know, raise your hand up and we'll pull on you. Who do you think? Well, yeah, you know this one, don't you? Drew Ivester right here. What's the order they need to be in? This is, yeah, Drew's sister. You didn't let me finish. Here we go. What's the order? Greg is, I didn't say Greg was arrested. I just said they called the police on him, okay? This is the correct order. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, let's try one more here. We got a couple of them. I was not arrested. He was not arrested. We will allow these guys to give an explanation on some of these. The most extreme thing they've ever done, in no particular order, and you guys are going to have to switch chairs based on what the kids think it is. First one, jumping from some sketchy cliffs and bridges. Number 1. Climbing onto the top of buildings. Number 2. And number 3, skydiving. Who knows the order? Who knows the order? Put them in the correct order. Jumping. Who jumped belongs here. Climbing off buildings there. Skydiving there. Who's got the answer? Let me see a hand. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Come on. Give me a hand. Who knows? Right back there. Yeah, what's his order? No, go ahead and say it. You know where your dad goes. Josh, Jenny, and your dad. Switch it up here. Swatch Josh, Jenny, and your dad. How many think this is the right answer? Yeah, a few of you there. Okay. Greg, did you skydive? You did. It's between these two right here. Jumping off from sketchy cliffs and bridges and climbing onto tops of buildings. So you're saying Jenny climbed on top of buildings? Jenny, why would you do something? Switch it up. Which is the correct order? There you go. This is what's happened. Jenny, what is your problem with jumping off bridges? Why don't you take that mic from Josh there?
It's sketchy.
It is sketchy. Sweet. Good answer.
I've done
I mean, cliffs,
I
bridges.
jumped off cliffs and bridges.
Okay.
Yeah.
Josh, hand the microphone. I want to hear what do you mean by climbing on tops of buildings?
Well, I just want to say hers is sketchy because there was the guy with the easel when you were doing it.
Never mind.
Sketchy.
Sketch, easel. Yeah, just
Sketchy. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
What was the question?
Gee whiz, most extreme thing you've ever done. You climbed on top of
I used to
buildings.
climb buildings.
Don't tell them what kind of buildings.
Just buildings.
Yeah, just buildings. Okay. Let's try this one. What
It was
order?
inappropriate
Okay.
and illegal, and I should never have done it.
Okay,
But I
well,
did never do it. I didn't say I did it. Just in case law enforcement. Can you get in trouble for that? For confessing that? See, that's why I didn't do it.
I asked these guys, I'm so embarrassed when. Here's one of them. My first day on the job, while going to the bathroom, I saw a spider next to my head. I freaked out. I peed all over the floor. One of these people actually did that. The second person, while playing sports, I peed in my pants. The third one, I left a poop streak on my neighbor's slide. Seriously, that's what they wrote down. When Greg turns really red, you know something's up. And that's not a sunburn either. Who's got the answer? What order do you think it's in? Come on, give me some orders here. Give me a hand. Put them in the right order. It's peed because of the spider, sports, peed in my pants, and left a poop stain. Or do you think they're in the right order now? Come on, give me an answer. Let me show you a hand. Be brave. Go ahead, Sierra. That's the right order? So we're going to keep it right here. How many think this is the right order? A few of you down there at the end. Would anybody want to switch any? Yeah? Jenny and Josh? Uh-oh, let's switch here. Uh-oh.
Got some flack.
There we are. Greg, you're being accused of sliding on the bottom here. Why don't we put yourselves in the correct order? Go for it. Oh, all of you are wrong. Jenny, tell us about that first day.
It was so scary. So I was in a little bathroom,
Check.
the kind where you have the sliding door. I sat down to use the facilities, and there was one of those toilet paper rolls in the wall, and I hit the toilet paper roll to make the end come out, and there was a forest wolf spider on the backside that came at my face hissing. You weren't there. So I jumped off the toilet. I was midstream. I peed all over the floor. I couldn't stop. It was really awful. And then I just moved in, and all I had was clothes, and it was really big. And I had to go down and ask somebody for something bigger. So then I met all of the people that I was going to spend my whole summer with on the first day where I peed all over the floor, and they had to come kill the spider for me.
Sweet. Greg, you don't have to share. Josh, what happened to you? This was not last week, was it?
No, it was 2 weeks ago. But I was about 6 or 7 or so, and I had a very small crush on my neighbor girl, and we were playing on her play thing, and it happened. It happens to everybody. I think everybody has a story.
Anybody ever happened to?
Everybody has a story like this. I swear I've heard tons of people's stories like this. But then I didn't even say anything. I didn't address it or anything. I just ran home.
All right, there you go. A few more quick ones here. I am the worst at blank. Organizing things, fixing anything, and measuring, cutting things the right length. So what order here? Somebody is not good at organization, somebody is not good at fixing anything, and somebody can't use a tape measure very well. What's the order? You can look at them. Who do you think it is? Switch them around. Switch them around. Just yell it out. Swatch and Greg.
Watching Greg.
Switching Greg.
Watching Greg.
Is this right? What's that? Greg and Jenny? Josh and Jenny? Oh, no. Switch him back. Okay, switch back. I guess you got overruled. They're demanding. Well, I'll tell you right now, Jenny is correct. Organizing things. Greg can't fix anything. Isn't that right, Greg? Switch with Josh. Talk about that, Greg. Or do we need to have Tara up here talking about it?
I'm a perfectionist, and whenever I try to fix anything, I get mad at myself and call myself an idiot and quit. It's true. Right? So I'm better off having other people fix things.
Josh, what about you?
I can fix things, but nothing's the right length.
And I would drive myself crazy if I was Josh Putnam. So.
He told me the other day, I says, I'll measure twice, and then I will cut it, then I take it over and it's too short, and I say, oh, good enough. And he nails it in. That's wrong. Okay, a few more here. Let's see, I spent a bunch of money on this. We won't do that one. Jenny spent a whole bunch of money on car repairs. Josh spent a whole bunch of money on roof repairs. And Greg spent a whole lot of money on season tickets for college games. Yeah.
Nice.
Let's do this one here. This happened once on a flight. Once on a flight. First one is, this individual sat next to a United Nations official from Pakistan. United Nations, UN, Pakistani. Second person had the pilot come take an object from the individual that they wanted to keep with them in the cabin. The pilot took it and kept it with
that's in the cockpit. Yeah, kind of along there. She wanted to take something with him, hold it in his seat or put it in the storage above. Pilot said no. He took it up in the cockpit with him. And the third one is somebody got bumped up into first class seating on an overseas flight. So we've got the United Nations, the pilot, and somebody got bumped. What's the order? Switch them up, yell it out.
What are they again? I forgot. They probably forgot.
Who got confiscated their item? Which one? Josh? Maybe.
So does that mean I'm in front?
Yeah. Who got bumped in the first class? Jenny? Okay. And who flew and met the UN guy? You got it absolutely correct. Isn't this right? Give yourselves a round.
Nicely done.
Let's see here. I'm going to skip 2 because we're moving on here on time here. Let's do this. I'm not going to. I asked him. I was so surprised when Jenny's was my significant other bought me a car and put a big red bow on it. That's really nice, Jenny, right? But it wasn't a car. Your significant other bought you a car, but it wasn't a car, was it? It was a minivan. And you drove it how far? And what happened? There you go.
Thanks, babe.
One of these two backed their car into a pole. Who would have that been? Gray. Okay, that's right. And guess what, Josh, you want to tell them what you did?
I forget. What was it?
Something about you being pregnant?
Oh, that never happened.
Oh, no. Found out about something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I found out that my wife was pregnant before she found out she was pregnant. It's true.
This happens to all of you. You're about to say that, right?
It'll happen to you guys. You're not married yet, but it'll happen. No, my wife she took a pregnancy test, and then she took a shower. She didn't look at the test. And I walked in, and it was right there, and I was like, isn't there only supposed to be one line? No, legit, that's what I said. And she's like, that must be a mistake. We literally thought it was a mistake for a few weeks. It was like, no, it's not possible.
Okay, well, there you go.
Well, there's a longer story.
2 more short ones. They should have never tried this. Okay, listen to these 3 answers. Number 1 is, climbed onto the roofs of high schools and snuck into them through the roof hatch doors. You want to just guess who that is right now? Josh, get over here.
No faith. No faith in me.
I know, you already talked about climbing on buildings. Is that what the buildings were? Yeah, earlier. Yeah.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Yeah. This person, the worst thing, they should have never tried this. Owning 2 dogs and 1 cat at the same time. Who would that have been? My dad. Yeah, there you go. There's the answer. What's the story behind that? Do you have a cat now?
Yeah, how many cats
No,
do you have?
I've been cured of having pets.
Of all kinds. How do you feel about that? Are you okay?
Listen, I like animals in the wild, at the zoo, or on my plate.
Oh. Okay. Greg, what happened to the cat?
What about God creating all things that are wonderful, Greg?
I like your pets at your house.
Can you kill his microphone right now? Can you just turn it on? No, here we go. And Jenny's was wasabi.
Yeah, what about it?
You
I
should
don't
have
like
never
it.
tried it.
No, I should have never tried
Why
it.
is that?
Because it's hot and it's disgusting and I can't handle it because I'm a wimp.
Okay. You jumped off from some pretty sketchy bridges, though.
I have snuck into schools, too, and played basketball after hours. Milwaukee High School, I totally snuck in and played basketball.
He was there. Our last one, we'll see if we can get
I
these
thought
in,
it
then
was
we're going to
fun.
bring Josh
I didn't think
there
I
up.
shouldn't do it. I did it. And I
The
thought
sun
it
is
was
going
fun.
down. If I could, I would like to try. Somebody said, get my pilot's license. Ooh, one of these 3 wants to
Greg
be a pilot.
really wants to be tall.
If I could, I would like to try to be tall. That wasn't one. No. To surf inside a wave tunnel. You know, when the wave curls over and goes through there. And finally, space travel. Wow. Jenny, Josh, Greg. Switch it up. You guys agree with this? Jenny, is that correct? You have always wanted to be a pilot?
I have. I took pilot's lessons for a long time when I was younger, and then
Tell
my
them.
family ran out of money, and I didn't get to take them anymore. But magically found money, and my brother got his license. I know. You should pray for me. I'm not the favorite.
Older or younger brother?
Younger brother.
Oh, were you you're not the firstborn, are you?
I am the firstborn.
There you go. Is your
You
brother?
always get the shaft when
Is
you're
your
the
brother the
firstborn.
middle child?
Yep.
Yep, I'm a middle. How many middle childs out there? Yeah.
Then there's the youngest. and
My
they get
senior
the plane.
paper was called the middle child syndrome. Believe it or not, I wrote a paper on the middle child syndrome. We have 7 in our family. I'm right in the middle. Space travel. Astronaut. He would like the microphone. Seriously.
Who wouldn't like to do space travel? Wouldn't it be
I would
amazing?
like to.
One person, Greg.
Me.
You would go.
I would like to space
Okay.
travel.
No, I'm claustrophobic.
Josh, what's your surfing dream?
It's a pipe dream.
That's a good one. That's better than a dad joke.
I tell you what. Let's give it up for these guys. You guys did fairly well.
I'm gonna need you guys to sing nice and loud. This is so great. I don't know about everybody else. I'm loving this. You guys might know this song. It's a song I wrote called For the Season. So sing loud, all right? Here we go. You sang, you set the earth in motion with a touch. You took the dust, declared it was a heart. You said it was good. You said it was just like yours. You set it apart. 'Cause you were here before me and you're always good. I feel you in the way, I can feel you holding me close. And when the darkness comes to steal my joy, I will sing it out, sing it out. You fight for the heart to come into light. You take the weak, declare he is strong. You That's a good idea. Yeah, you guys don't have lyrics. If you guys want to take out your phone, Take out your phone. Greater you, Lord. Google it. Yeah, we don't have projection. That makes a lot of sense. Thanks, Jen. Well, Lord, we just thank you so much that we get to be together. It's so good to worship you in one space, not have to be separated by distance. We thank you that you're working in all things, and you're working all things together for our good. And we're grateful for all the community we get right now. We get to be together. Let's sing You Give. You give life, you are love, you bring light to the darkness, you give hope, you restore every heart that is broken. Great are you, Lord. It's your breath. It's your breath in our lungs. So we pour out our praise. We pour out our praise. It's your breath in our lungs. So we pour out our praise to you only, Lord. You give life, you are love, you bring light to the darkness, you give hope, you restore every heart that is broken. Great are you, Lord. Come on, every voice, sing it's your breath. Oh, it's your breath in our lungs. So we pour out our praise. We pour out our praise. It's your breath in our lungs. So we pour out our praise to you only. It's your breath in our lungs. So we pour out our praise. We pour out our praise. It's your breath in our lungs. So we pour out our praise to you only. And all the earth will shout your praise. Our hearts will cry, these bones will sing. Great are you, Lord. All the earth will shout your praise. Our hearts will cry, these bones will sing. Great are you, Lord.
It's gonna be beautiful, you guys.
All the earth will shout your praise. Our hearts will cry. These bones will sing. Great are you, Lord. Sing it's your name. Oh, it's your
Dear Lord, we are so thankful that you have so much creativity, so much beauty, Lord. And in heaven, there is going to be every color, every dialect, every language, God. And we look forward to that, Lord, where there is peace and unity and compassion, just full of your love, God. You are the answer. Lord, it is you that we find peace and we find love. And God, we yearn for that day. Lord, give us a taste of that here on earth, God. We, your family, God, we want to build that kingdom. We want to see it happen here. God, build our lives. Give us your love for each other, God. Worthy of every song we could ever sing, worthy of all the praise we could ever bring, worthy of every breath we could ever bring. We live for you, Jesus, the name above every other name. Jesus, the only one who could ever save. Worthy of every breath we could ever breathe. We live for you. Oh, we live for you. Holy, there is no one like you. There is none beside you. Open up my eyes in wonder and show me who you are and fill me with your heart and lead me in your love to those around me. Yes, God, that's our prayer. Worthy of every song we could ever sing, worthy of all the praise we could ever bring, worthy of every breath we could ever breathe. We live for you, yeah. Jesus, the name above every other name. Jesus, the only one who could ever save. Worthy of every breath we could ever God, that's our prayer. We want to be your hands. We want to be your feet. We want to have the heart that you have, God. We love you. Help us, God. Amen.
I had it muted, evidently. Josh, is that yours? Maybe? Probably? Yeah. All right. Well, I'm excited. I have Jenny up here with me today. We're going to have a little conversation and do what we're going to do today. Can you just say something about how happy you are right now? Just like
They're not happy.
No, I meant you.
Oh, me?
Yes.
I thought you were talking to them.
Well, them too, right? How happy are you? Is it good to be here? All right, cool.
I'm just so excited to see all of your cute faces. I'm so into totally following the rules so we can keep doing this, but it's like murdering me not to be able to hug all of you. So I love you. I can't wait until a few more weeks go by, but I'm so thankful to follow all of the rules the whole time so that we can be together.
Yeah, well, it is kind of weird, like having to wear a mask, having to break into groups of 25 or less. I apologize for the hurtful things I said about your pets. I really do love pets. Can you forgive me, please?
No.
I really do love pets.
Oh,
I
I
just
mean,
don't
yes.
have any of my own, but I love them. Please don't hold it against me. Hey, what we're going to talk about today. So, we've been in a little bit of a series, if you've been tracking with us for a few weeks, called That's a Good Question. And we've been trying to ask and answer some of the questions that people are actually asking. Sometimes we can get so caught up in our own world and our own thoughts that sometimes we forget that people have very real questions. And we got to think about and offer answers to the actual questions people are asking. And here's what we believe around here. And you know this, you've been hanging out with us for a while. We believe that Jesus has the best answers to the most important questions. That's what we believe. We think if you're going to find the best answer to any question you have, you're going to find it in Jesus. And so that's what we're trying to explore with this. And so in the very first week, we talked about the devaluing of women, if you remember that. And if you didn't listen to that, you should go back and listen to it. We live in a world where often women get devalued. And what is that? And why? And what's that all about? And what's God have to say about it? And we spoke into it. And the truth is, it's wrong. And it's quite the opposite, in fact. Women were the final pinnacle of God's creation, kind of the crowning jewel of it all, And it's
Preach.
it isn't surprising. It isn't surprising, is it, though, that the devil in this world, the forces of evil in this world, are trying to turn the tables on some of that stuff, That's where all the problems come in. The second week, we talked about racism, and who knew what was going to go on in the world in the 2 weeks since we talked about that. Really felt like it was from God that we leaned into that topic. If you didn't hear what we had to say about it, you should go back and listen to it. Racism also is a great evil in this world. And the Bible has the answers to that question. If people would just listen, we wouldn't have these problems we're having right now. And then last week we talked about if God is good, why is there suffering in the world? That's another good question. And the answer is there shouldn't be. And it's not the way God made it. It's not the way he's going to leave it. He is going to make all the wrongs right one day. And so today we're going to kind of get into a question that, as we've been asking around, is probably the number one question that we've been hearing from people. And it kind of takes all the other questions and just brings them right to the heart of it. And the question is this: where do we find what we're looking for? Or you could put it like this: where do you find happiness? Right? Well, okay, that's a simplistic answer, right? What do we mean by that? Why is God the place to find it? We're going to talk a little bit about that today. But Jenny, you and I had a little conversation earlier, and we've been talking to other people. what is it really that people are looking for? So you say, where do you find happiness? Where are the places that people get glimpses of or they're searching for happiness in this world? What are some of the things people run after?
Well, I think there's a lot of things, but I forgot. Can I interrupt this for
Sure.
just a short bulletin?
Yeah.
I would just like to say and take a minute. We have Damascus Christian graduates. We have Clackamas High School graduates. We have Gresham High School graduates. We have Sandy High School graduates. We have, well, you're all homeschool. I had my first homeschool graduate this year. I'm a homeschool teacher. She graduated from my homeschool.
Nice.
Way to go, Drew.
Congratulations, Drew.
Wait, have I said all the schools? I knew I didn't say it. And Barlow. Yeah, you guys wouldn't let me forget that. So can we just please, you guys have just gotten the shaft on a lot of things, but I know some of you have already graduated. Some of you, your graduation celebrations are coming. But can you guys all just give it up for their graduates real quick? Thank you.
Woo!
Good job, guys. I'm really sorry that you got the shaft. Pandemic.
Where do you find what you're looking for? Like,
Yes.
for example, recognition when you graduate,
Yeah.
right?
From
Things
Jenny.
like that. All right. So what are the things?
I think there's a lot of things
Yeah.
that we're looking for. So are we starting with that? What are the things we're looking for?
Yeah.
The love and all those ones?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, what do you think?
I think for me, I was always looking for love, always looking for it. Someone who would actually love me, all of me, wouldn't bail, a musician. That was like weird background noise. Someone who would love me. I wanted to be known. I really want to be known and loved anyways. I mean, there's so many things that I think that we all want. I want security. I want those things. I want to know that I'm going to be safe and that I'm going to be taken care of. I want purpose. I want it to matter. I want my life to matter. I think there's just a lot of those things that we all have that we're all looking for, and a lot of times, we get little, how you say it, hauntings. We have little things that come. But go ahead.
Yeah. What, do you agree with that? So that's pretty obvious, right? So if you're going to search for something in this life, if you're going to look for happiness in this life, you're going to look for it in love, right? Doesn't that seem obvious? Is there anybody that doesn't want to be loved? I've never met that person. So, but it's interesting. You think about the happiest moments of your life are the moments where you feel loved, or I would even go further than that. I would say very often the happiest moments of your life are the moments when you are most loving another person.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you
That's
agree with
true.
that?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. And some of the unhappiest moments in life are where you're not being loved,
Yeah.
right?
That is not fun. And even just seeing that, I feel like, here at the church, I meet with a lot of you guys, ladies mostly, but I think that's one thing that I hear in all these years over and over and over again is just this one desperation to feel loved, to want to be loved. And then when you have, when someone has hurt you or hasn't shown up or hasn't loved you in the way that they should have, and you've been let down, whether it's your parents or it's a significant other or it's a friend, when you feel not loved by them and they've deceived you in some way, that's the hardest stuff. That's really brutal.
Those moments in life where you thought someone loved you and they let you down, right? So who's the one person in your life, Jenny, that you feel like you experience love from, right? That just brings, of all the people in your life, you got your family and your daughters and everything, but probably you'd say your husband, right? That this person in your life that loves you unconditionally and chose you.
In his best moments, he loves me unconditionally.
Right, in his best moments.
Sometimes I'm a piece of work and I'm really hard to love.
But, even the best people in life are eventually going to let you down.
Yeah,
True?
you let me down all the time. So there's
true.
that.
Even today.
And I let you
a
down
time or two.
even today. A time or two. Yeah.
It doesn't really make a difference how great the person is in your life. Think about this. The fact that you crave love, the fact that you want it, it's like one of your fundamental desires in life. And yet, it doesn't matter where you look for it in this world, you're going to be disappointed. All of the people are disappointing. Now, that's not a very pick-me-up message, is it? But it's true, and you know it. It's true even of the person you look back at in the mirror. You know it. You're even, at times, a little disappointing. Like, we're not quite enough, are we? The love's not full enough. It doesn't last long enough. Even the best of the people in your life, eventually their schedule is too full and they're too busy to spend time with you. Or maybe they move away. Or even the best of them eventually die. Right? So if you put all your eggs in that basket, no matter who it is, eventually you're going to be left disappointed. And so it's interesting to think of, you have this craving, this longing, and you get tastes of it in this world, but at the end of the day, it's just not quite enough, right?
No, and I think that's an interesting thing too, just the getting the taste of it. I think, we're going to get into a lot of different things here, but a lot of us will give up a lot of ourselves just for tastes of love, just for what's kind of close or as close as we can get. And sometimes, like with my husband, that's like, he loves me like crazy, and he's loved me through some serious junk, and I'm super thankful for him. And yet there's always been times, like, and if you're in a dating relationship or in other relationships, where it can be really good at moments, but then it can just be shallow. Or sometimes, like, I'm pretty sure all of us know someone who's been in a relationship that they should not be in, they should get out of. And yet that person is willing to stay because they feel like, well, that little bit of whatever the little bit of love that they're getting is worth staying for. And I think that's kind of like that haunting thing that you were talking about.
Yeah. So love is one thing. A couple other things that we talked about where people look for happiness in life, where you're really trying to look for what you're after. I think beauty is another one. You think about this for a minute. Why do you go to beautiful places? Like, you go to the beach, right? You go, climb a mountain somewhere and see some
Crown Point.
beautiful
Everyone,
place.
I've seen
You
your
go watch the
grams.
sunset.
Everyone's at Crown Point.
Right?
Right.
Or
look at me.
it's not only beautiful places, but think of beautiful people, right? You're drawn to it. You're attracted to beauty. And it's interesting. Happiness, if you really stop and think about it, happiness is effortless when you're in the presence of something beautiful. You don't have to try. It just kind of happens to you. And what's fascinating about it is when you're in the presence of something beautiful, you are most unaware of yourself. It's really fascinating. Like, nobody goes to the Grand Canyon to increase their self-esteem, right? You go to the Grand Canyon to feel small, insignificant in the presence of something great, in the presence of something beautiful. And it draws you in, and you just feel happiness without even trying.
If you're getting it.
Right.
And there are all those people who take Instas and then fall into the Grand Canyon. That happens.
That is true.
They didn't get it.
But even that kind of stuff, like the sunset, the sunset, and then what? It's gone, right? The most beautiful person you know is going to age, and the outward person's going to decay. The outward beauty won't last, right? And on you could go. It doesn't really make any difference. You ever been to a place twice? And the first time it took your breath away, but the second time you were just kind of used to it, and the excitement of it just sort of faded. It's just, there's something about it. You're drawn to it. You're made for it, but yet nothing in this world's quite enough. Another thing we talked about was accomplishment, right? People need to have purpose and something to accomplish in their life.
Oh, there's so many things that we do for accomplishment to take pleasure. It's like, I see, how many of you have seen like the people who run marathons who've got like the 26 point on the back of their car, like, look what I did, or there's lots of things, right? It's how much can I lift? Like, what grade point average did I get? Am I the valedictorian of Barlow? Let me tell the whole world about it. Talk about it on the news and make it my Instagram and talk. Oh, I'm sorry. I was talking about Nathan Amadio for a minute. Just joking.
Right.
That's just keeping you humble, bro. No, but there's a lot of accomplishments. We strive for these things, and sometimes they make us happy. They really do. Like, they can make us happy for like a moment, and then we got to accomplish the next thing. So whatever it is, there's all these accomplishments that we strive for.
Have you seen Napoleon Dynamite? Who's the guy that's like the football star, right? That he's looking back on all of his old glory. Like, what was his name?
Uncle Rico.
Uncle Rico. Yeah. Like, he accomplished something like 30 years ago. And he's holding on to it, and it's just gone, Like,
Don't be Uncle Rico.
Where's the accomplishment that actually lasts? Where's the meaning that never fades, right? Where's the eternal glory? Where's that come from? That's something that you can really run after and accomplish that has true and lasting meaning in your life. So, but accomplishment is one, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? We're longing for purpose. We're longing for adventure. We're longing for pleasure. We like a little pleasure every now and then, right?
Yeah.
I like a good steak, right?
Yeah.
It's cooked
It's delicious.
medium rare.
Why wouldn't you?
I like that. I like my favorite drinks. In fact, they make fun of me around here. They bought an espresso machine for the office, and I've decided I will never own one at home because I think I would just put my mouth under the thing. It's like I'd never stop. I make these Irish cream lattes that are just unbelievable. And I would make one like I would just keep drinking them nonstop if I had one at home, I think.
Oh, small Irish cream coffee, right?
Exactly. Right. But, pleasure is another thing. What are some different kinds? You think of some of the obvious
Disneyland.
things. Disneyland.
I like Disneyland. I don't see anything wrong with Pirates of the Caribbean or lobster nachos or
Right.
there's so many cars at night, the fireworks. There's a lot of pleasure. That's wonderful. I
What's
love
the
it.
biggest problem with Disneyland?
You have to go home.
You
You
have to
can't
go
live
home.
there.
You can't live there.
Closes for
Right.
pandemics.
Right. One of the things we talked about earlier, like this, a big pleasure for people is humor, right? We like to laugh. Like it's one of the
I like
pleasures
to
in
laugh.
life. But here's the problem with all of it, right? So just let's be honest for a minute. The joy of it all is not full enough. The pleasure of it all doesn't last long enough. You get little glimpses of it, right? Little hauntings of it. Like you know what you're made for. It's not hard to figure out. You were made for love. You were made for beauty. You were made for accomplishment and adventure and purpose. Right? You were made for pleasure. You know this. It's not hard to figure out. The problem is, in this world, none of it's full enough, none of it lasts long enough. You're just never quite satisfied. There's something that you're still looking for. You ever heard the old U2 song? I still haven't found what I'm looking for. I want to read you a quote. First, I'm going to read you a verse from the Bible. This is Psalm 16:11. It says this about God. It says, "You make known to me the path of life." There's lots of different paths you could be on in your life. You're going to look for love somewhere. You're going to look for beauty somewhere. You're going to look for accomplishment. You're going to look for pleasure somewhere. The Bible says, Psalm 16:11, "You, God, make known to me the path of life. In your presence is fullness of joy." So where's the full joy found? In the presence of God. You can taste it in this life. The best of it's found with Him. You talk to anybody who walks with Jesus strong, they'll tell you. The fullest joy is found in Jesus, but even we don't have it all the way yet. We get the best of it now, and we're going to really get the best of it later. But in His presence, there's fullness of joy. At His right hand are pleasures forevermore. Where do you find pleasures that last? You find it with Jesus. That's what the Bible says. The question is it true? Is Jesus better? Does He have the best love? Does He provide the greatest experience of beauty? I don't know if you remember. Tell me if you had this experience. When you became a Christian, didn't the world look different? Like something just changed. Do you remember that?
I just remember having so much more hope. So much more hope, so much more security, and also just really knowing, like, no matter what happened, that God was going to love me, no matter what went down, no matter what mistakes I made. I knew I was always going to be okay with Him, and that's a good thing to know.
Yeah. So there's all of that goes into it. I'm even talking about the world looks different. I remember when I became a Christian, the leaves on the trees looked different. It's like they were alive with something new and better. Everything was just more beautiful. Your experience of it's deeper and richer. Jesus just makes it all better. He's the source of the greatest love. He's the source of the highest experience of the beauty of it all. He's the one that provides the greatest adventure. the greatest thing to accomplish. He's got a mission for you. Like, you look at what you're doing with your life these days. I mean, could you imagine anything better than what you get to do with your life?
No. I mean,
Seriously.
only if I got to do it in Disneyland.
Only if you got to do it in
If I got to
Disneyland.
take all these kids and we lived in Disneyland, then it would be better.
I mean,
I know not for you, but for me.
Especially if you pay attention to our church, the places God might take you. I mean, there's some of you graduating from high school right now. If you put your life in the hands of God, there is no telling where he's going to take you. He's going to take you on a ride, if you're willing. A ride that has the greatest purpose that any life could possibly have, because it's on his mission with him. And you never quite know where you're going to end up, but it's going to be the best. He's got the best adventure, and he's got the highest pleasures, the deepest and best and most lasting ones.
Yeah.
Including all the physical ones you run after. They're better with Jesus.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's something to talk about is like what we run after. Can I say that one Piper quote?
Do it.
I don't
You got
have it. No.
Oh.
You have to say it. Dang it.
Oh, you don't have it. I gave it
don't
to
have
you.
it. I have it in my head
Oh.
a little bit.
All right.
Not totally.
So
good.
here's the deal. You might be sitting here thinking to yourself, okay, I'm hearing you. I'm just not sure I buy it.
Wait, I wanted to introduce it.
Do
That's
it.
why I brought it up.
Oh, you do it, and
Yeah,
I'll read it.
Okay.
Jenny wants to
Here's
accomplish
the
you
thing.
guys. Accomplishment is what she wants.
Yeah. Here's the thing. We go after all of these things in life, and we're searching for these pleasures. We're searching for love. We're searching for all of these things, like just success, pleasure, money, whatever it is, we're all looking for it. And we're all doing little things here and there to get little pieces of it, right? Like all the time, just kind of little glimpses. And sometimes, like sin is fun for a while. Let's be honest. It just is. You guys have all experienced that. Sin is fun for a while, okay? Some of you may even be sitting here and thinking, no, sin's pretty fun right now too. It will end. That'll end. But everyone, you've probably had a moment where sin is fun for a while, and then all of a sudden, it's just not fun anymore. It just doesn't satisfy anymore. That relationship that you thought was worth it, all of a sudden, it's not worth it anymore. Giving yourself away, you thought it was worth it, it's not worth it anymore. Going to that party, like going all the way crazy nuts, you're the coolest, funnest, on the table, dancing, it's so fun, you're so fun. And then all of a sudden, it's not fun anymore. You're pursuing these great things. You're going after all of these successes, all of these awards, all of this stuff. You're working hard, and then all of a sudden, it's just not worth it anymore. There's more. It just doesn't satisfy anymore. And I think that's the question that we're trying to get at, and the quote kind of addresses it. It's like, what's going on there? What's going on there in us? And this is Piper. He throws it down.
Well, I'm going to read C.S. Lewis first. Is that okay?
That's fine.
Because I think what you just talked about will feed into then the other one. This is from C.S. Lewis, one of the most brilliant men who ever lived. This is what he says. He says, if we find ourselves with a desire that nothing in this world can satisfy, the most probable explanation is that we were made for another world. There are desires inside of you, this world. You're never going to quite get there. But if you're struggling to believe that the best of it's found with God, I mean, Jesus says you'll get the best of it in this life and in the life to come. Even in this life with Jesus, you get the best love there is to have in this life, even though it's never quite enough. You'll get the best experience of beauty and adventure and pleasure with Jesus. I will tell you straight up, hear me loud and clear, sex is better with Jesus as the focal point of your life, because his will is for you to have it in marriage with that one person that you were made to be with and to share it with. It's better Jesus' way. Even that, it was his idea. All of it was his idea, all the pleasures. If you're sitting here today and you're struggling to believe that God is the best, Jesus is better, if you don't have strong desires for God in your life today, you're sitting here singing, I'm listening to you, I don't have those strong desires for God in my life. I got strong desires for other stuff. Here's the quote Jenny was talking about. If you don't feel strong desires for God, it is not because you have drunk deeply and are satisfied at his table. It is because you have nibbled so long at the table of the world. Your soul is stuffed with small things, and there is no room for the great. God did not create you for this. There is an appetite for God, and it can be awakened. I invite you to turn from the dulling effects of food and sex and the dangers of idolatry and to say, this much, oh God. Take all those cravings, all those longings in your heart, and you say to God, this much, oh God, I want you. Turn all those desires into a desire for Him. And you will find that you were made for something great. You'll feel like you do when you go to the Grand Canyon. You were made for something great. Stop stuffing yourself with things that are small. Don't settle for so little. C.S. Lewis has another quote. He says, we are far too easily pleased. You're just settling for too little. In His presence is fullness of joy. At His right hand are pleasures forevermore. I could go on and on. I have a whole bunch of scriptures here, but we promised we'd be done at 8:30.
Yeah, we have 2 minutes.
So maybe I can read a couple quick ones. I'll just read this one from Ephesians 3. This is from the Message. I don't usually like, the Message is a paraphrase of the Bible, but sometimes I love it. Look, this is what it says. This is from Ephesians 3. It says, take in the extravagant dimensions of Christ's love. Reach out and experience the depth. Test its length. Plumb the depths. Rise to the heights. Live full lives. Full in the fullness of God. That's what you were made for. And I can tell you in my own life, I've ran after a lot of things at a lot of different times. And I have found that everything in this world is disappointing except for one thing. The presence of God in my life never fails to give me love. I always feel love in the presence of God. Never fails to give me joy in my life. Never fails to bring peace. Never. Run after Him. Stop stuffing yourself with small things. Got anything to close with?
I just have a quick little story. So I've been on staff here for about 5 years. And in this time, watching middle school, high school, college kids go through, a lot of times we have students who come through and they're walking with Jesus and then they turn away and they walk away. And one thing that I always try and do is make sure that they know that they have a back door of grace, that once they run their course and go on their journey, that I will always be here, their number one cheerleader here with open arms, loving them and welcoming them. A girl who used to be really involved here and walked away for a guy, and that led to another guy and just a lot of nothing. And then she's kind of gotten serious with this new guy and started to think about maybe marrying him. And then all of a sudden, God was calling to her, and she just knew it, and she couldn't get away from it. And she asked to meet with me. She actually texted me and said, hey, are you giving out hugs? I was like, yeah, I'm always giving out hugs. And I said, come on over. So she came over, and we got to talk, and she just said, we're talking about marriage, and the one thing that I know is whenever I got married someday, I knew I wanted to marry a man that loved God, and he doesn't, and I don't know what to do. And we got to talk, for a long time. And then I actually got to meet with her boyfriend the next day, and he's like, I need to know about this Jesus. I came to church for the first time, and then I've listened to 2 sermons, and this guy's awesome. And he's like, I want to know about this. And now this girl, as she's pursuing God, it's in the face with what was the most important, choosing who she was going to love and be with for the rest of her life and have a family. It got real fast. She didn't want to mess around anymore. And I just hope that for all of you, that when you think about all these things, you get to choose. You get to choose whether you're going to walk with Jesus or not. You get to choose if you're going to settle on the things, the little things, and nibble at the plate of the world. But I want you to want big things. And it is a glorious day when I see someone who has walked away to come back to Jesus. It is a glorious day. It is also a glorious day when I watch kids walk faithfully with Jesus every day. When you get to see the big things, you get to experience the big love. When you say, I'm not going to settle for this nonsense. It's nonsense. I want the big stuff. I want the goods. And that you realize that you're worth it and that your God made you worth it and that you're better than all that other crap. And that's really what we're here. That's what we're saying. That's what we're talking tonight. So when you're asking yourself these questions, and you're going to keep asking yourself these questions, you know, you're going to wonder, like, what is this all about? What does it mean? What's my purpose? Every time, the best answer is going to be you figuring out who Jesus is in your life and who he says you are. I promise he will never let you down. I will, but he won't.
Amen. Mm-hmm. Close us.
Lord, I just thank you. Oh, I thank you that we're together again. I have been longing for this day. I thank you that we are in Oregon and it is sunny and nice and we are not completely freezing yet. Thank you for all of the tech team that worked so hard to make this happen. Thank you for Miss Sue, our next door neighbor, who said we could be out here till 8:30, so I got to stop talking. Thank you for Greg and how he prepares. Thank you for all of our leaders who showed up and who love you and love every one of these students. Lord, thank you for all of these students. Lord, I pray that you make yourself known to them in big ways. I pray that they ask. I pray that they ask for you to show them how big you are. And I pray that they help one another walk faithfully to be more like you, that we all love one another better, and that we choose to receive your love better. Pray these things in your son's name. Amen.
Love you guys. Thanks for being here tonight. We're going to do it again next week. We're back on. This is like
Yes.
normal now, at least for a little.
And you can
It's
hang out, just don't be loud.
Really normal, not normal.
And if you use one of our chairs, please come get a bleach wipe so that we can clean it and put it away.
From the earth to the sky, let it rise from the dark into light. Now alive, we are here to lift you up, here to sing a song of love, here to give you, God, what you are worthy of. A holy roar, reaching for heaven, our praise poured out with reckless abandon. Our worship, God, is wholly yours. Here we stand, here we wait. Have your way, have your way. Every hand in this place, God we raise, God we raise. We are here to lift you up, here to sing a song of love, here to give you, God, what you are worthy of. A holy roar, reaching for heaven, our praise poured out with reckless abandon. Our worship, God, is wholly yours. We are wholly yours, forever worthy, forever worthy. Forever worthy is the Lamb who was slain.
Check, check. Hey, if you can pick up any garbage you see next to you, if there's any garbage around you, we got a little box here in the middle. You can throw it out. Thank you for that. Good seeing you. Love you. See you next week.